Okay, great. So I'm here to talk about Alfresco multi-cloud. It was kind of at the start of our multi-cloud journey, and I wanted to take you along for a little bit of a ride there, talking predominantly about a new product that we're launching, which is a multi-cloud Azure connector. So we've been working in the AWS space for quite some time. But as a product, our philosophy has always been about giving choice to our customers. We give you choice about how you deploy, whether you deploy on-premise, whether you deploy in the cloud. We give you choice about the licensing model. We have a community and an enterprise model for our software, and our heritage is always open source, and our core is open source. We give you choice about what database you deploy on. Open source databases, licensed and certified databases. And we give you choice about whether you want to work just in the content space, or content and process, or content and process and governance. So we've extended that to now work in the cloud space. We want to give you choice in the cloud. So doing some surveys with our customers, we found that about 65% of our customers were deploying on or interested in deploying on AWS first. So a lot of our customers have chosen AWS as a strategy, but a lot of things are changing, and Microsoft Azure is now becoming a very popular choice, particularly in certain industries and certain areas. So it's significantly challenging a number of our, the AWS kind of space. And there are some other cloud vendors that are out there that are less popular with our clients to date, but everything's fluid, everything's changing. So what we've done is we've committed to support the content that you store in AWS to give you the choice of storing that in other clouds too. And we heard someone talking today about deploying their content, I think it was Mintel, on the GCP cloud platform. So we're now launching an Azure content connector, which allows you to deploy your content in the Azure blob storage. So you can choose to deploy your Alfresco in the Azure cloud and make use of Azure storage. You can also choose to deploy your content on-premise and your content applications on-premise and your content in the cloud to take advantage of the low-cost storage there. It's got a similar functionality to our S3 connector for Azure. So we're trying to give a feature compatibility and comparison there. And the connector is compatible with ACS 6.1 and above. So we've developed that connector. We are now in an early access program with a number of customers who are trialing it in the field and giving us feedback about how we could improve it, and to give us feedback about the actual performance in the real customer use cases. And we're looking at doing a GA release of this product in the November timeframe. So if you're interested in deploying on Azure, I'm the product manager for content services. I'll be around outside for some of the day and in here, so please come and find me and have a chat, and I can talk to you about how we can get you enabled with that. Give you a quick snapshot of how it works. It makes use of an existing Azure storage account, and then it takes that account and those account identity details and uses them to configure and connect your Alfresco deployment to make use of your blob storage account. Where are we going to go to from here? Well, we've already had a number of really good pieces of feedback from the field to tell us how we could improve it, other than just storing your content in the cloud. One of the things we've heard is that large enterprises have a lot of security needs around the identities, and they want to create delegated service managed identities in Azure Active Directory to not just use a standard storage account connector. So that's something that we're looking at, archival storage. So with our S3 connector right now, we offer you the opportunity to also take advantage of S3 Glacier. Well, Microsoft Azure has a very similar model where they offer you a standard storage model, and then they offer you Azure archiving. So this is something that we'll be looking to add later on in our roadmap. File compression. Everyone who moves to the cloud, one of the main reasons they do so is because of cost savings. Running your data center creates a significant cost. Having storage is a massive part of that. Moving that to the cloud saves you a lot of money, but even in the cloud, when you're talking about large-scale storage, it in itself can be quite expensive. So file compression is a concept that can actually reduce your storage costs in the cloud, but still take advantage of that cloud storage. And then looking at how do we get easier migrations. So right now, if you have a cloud storage connector in S3, or in Azure or on-premise, the URL that points to your binary content in Alfresco is specific to that provider. And moving your content from on-premise to the cloud actually involves remapping that. While you're doing that remapping, that content is not able to be online. It can't be accessed by your applications. So one of the things that we're looking to introduce across all of our cloud connector code base is to introduce the idea of neutral file URLs or virtual file URLs that can allow you to enable your applications to stay online while you're migrating content to the cloud. So hopefully that makes sense to you and gives you some good feelings. Like I said before, I'm around, so if you want to talk about how you can get enabled on Azure for your storage of Alfresco, on-premise or in the cloud, more than happy to talk.